I always want to pay my way. I never want to be that girl that's like, oh, she's coming in taking advantage of us. And now I'll post about it and hopefully they'll get more business from it. But I don't want to be that girl who's entitled. Like, if you can't afford to go out for dinner, then don't go out for dinner.
Hi, everyone. It's Christian Snow here, and starting things off a little bit differently this week, just because we did have to release our episode late this week, and you will hear Vicki and I discuss the entire situation. But if you didn't know, I lost a family pet. My dad's beloved dog, Frankie, passed away on Sunday, and just needed some time with him to help, just make sure that he's okay. So we took some time, and thank you to her dad and Vicki for understanding. And just want to dedicate this episode to my sweet dad, Philip, and our precious baby, Frankie, who is now, I know, prancing around like the king he is in heaven. And, there really is nothing like our dogs. So if you have a fur baby, go love on them today. And Frankie and Daddy, this episode is for y'all. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to an all-new episode of My Friend, My Soulmate, My Podcast. I am Christian Snow. That's who you're listening to, and I am not alone. I got the one and the only, my bestie, the OG of the OC, Vicki Gunvalson, is coming to you live from her HQ. That is Puerto Insurance.
Sorry about the disaster behind me. I got a lot of stuff on the floor. I just swiped the desk clean.
No, I was telling Vicki, she was like, should I blur my background? I was like, no, something about you in an office space just feels comforting and nostalgic. It's like going to, like a friend's house and like whenever you go somewhere, like a smell reminds you of something. Yeah. Like, I feel like people seeing you in your insurance office, it's just like, yes, that's what we need. But also just wanted to thank everyone for being patient with us. We do normally release our show every Tuesday. Of course, it is not Tuesday, it is Wednesday. And we let you know that we had a little bit of a situation, which is why we had to have a little bit of extra time. So thank you for your patience. I had a family emergency over on my end, Mother's Day of all times. I had driven home, hung out with my mom and dad for a few hours. We had lunch and just were chilling. It's about a 2-hour drive from there back to Charlotte, where I live. And I got back to Charlotte, had been home less than an hour, and I looked down and my mom was calling out of the blue. And I was like, normally she would text to see if I'd made it, and it turns out that one of our 4 beloved family pets had passed just a few hours after I left. And I knew that he hadn't been doing that great because he was 16, Vicki. Which also, how old is Walter?
Walter just turned 15.
Okay, I knew that.
Michael thinks he's going to live forever because he feeds him really good food, takes him for walks, and he has a stroller for him. So he says, I just think he's going to live forever. I said, you know what, he might.
It's possible. Listen, I've seen dogs live up to 19, 20. I mean, you never really know. And I think, too, like my dad rescued Frankie. So for the first half of his life, it's not like he was in getting proper health care and being, taken really great care of. So the fact that he lived to 16 was a wonderful testament.
What kind of dog was it?
He looks just like my Abby. He's a black and brown wiener dog. Yeah.
So if they're not inbred, or if they're not a mixture, supposedly they're supposed to live longer than if you have a purebred.
Yeah, I've heard that before too. Yeah. And also too, they say smaller dogs live longer. And so like we have Frankie, and just for context, I got Abby 2 weeks after I moved to LA, right after college graduation. And when I started coming home for visits, my dad and Abby, they just have a bond, and he loves him some Abby. So that's why he got Frankie, because he just fell in love with Abby and he wanted him a little dog.
I love those names. Walter, Frankie, Abby.
Yeah. And we also have Macy and Sissy. But it was, the wild part is that dogs really do let you know, like they really are in tune with their people. And Frankie, like I call him our family dog, but he by no means, he didn't really care that much about me. He only cared about my dad. He was obsessed with my dad. And on the way out, when I was leaving Sunday, I went and told my dad goodbye because he was taking a nap with Frankie in the bed. And I just went and hugged Frankie, and I said, I just had a feeling. And I said, I thanked him for being a wonderful boy. And I said, you're the best and coolest friend I've ever seen for my dad. And I just thank you so much for being the best. And Vicki, when I turned around, I walked out, and when I turned around and looked, I was in the doorway, and he from the other side of the room in the bed was staring at me in my eyes. And for like 5 seconds, we just stood there and looked at each other. And in that moment, I knew it was like he was thanking me and acknowledging what I had said to him.
He wasn't sick?
He had been sick. But he's old. He was 16. So it was just like things here and there, you know? And like there had been times before my dad's like, I don't think Frankie's going to make it, you know, and then he would be fine. So it was just, but I knew in that moment, and but I didn't say anything to my dad, you know? And so when my mom called me 3 hours later and said Frankie was gone, first thing I said was, I knew it. But
I didn't know if you had to put him to sleep when you said,
yeah.
So you didn't have to put him to sleep. Like
we didn't. And that was something my dad had been talking to our vet about. Like they were like, okay, if this happens, call us. If this happens, call us. He hadn't stopped eating. He was still drinking and stuff, but he just passed peacefully, like in his sleep. And
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. And you know, I just want to say, like, for people out there, like I love pets, so I know that it's real. But if you're one of those people that don't understand or get like how much people love their pets or how hard a pet loss is to people, please, for the love of God, just try and open your heart, because I have a grown ass man for a father who hunts in 2-degree weather and fixes things and, you know, is manly and burly, and watched him sob like a baby, you know, and just shows you like dogs are special, and they resonate and touch people in a way that you might not get. Yeah, absolutely. And we were talking about it, and you said that's why it's hard for you to have pets now, and I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, so we've always had dog. Our dogs were golden retrievers back in Chicago, and my sister's got one, and my brother has a lab and just lost his lab, and so he got another lab. But we've had in our older years pugs. So, you know, Michael got at one time. Don never liked dogs. He didn't want a dog, and so we brought this little cute Walter purebred pug home, and all of a sudden Walter knew exactly who to love first. He went right to Don, sat on his lap. Don's petting him. I'm like, I think we're going to be able to keep him, you know. But and then it ended up where Don just loved him. He was his best friend. And then when we got divorced, Michael got Walter. And Don was worried he wasn't going to take care of him the way that I did or Don did. And Michael's like, he's my best friend. He's go with me wherever I go.
And Walter's seen more places of the world than most of us.
I mean, he was out the river with us on the boat. I mean, just good. So we all, like Frankie and Abby, and we have Walter, and my sister has Peyton's, because we're Bears fans, and my brother has Butkus. It's like everybody's all centered around the Bears. But, you know, for a small dog, as you have, it's easier to take around. I mean, we took Walter to Puerto Vallarta, and we take Walter everywhere. Walter's right now in Europe. He's in Spain. And
I think Walter has a passport at this point.
We actually had to get one for Spain. So, and Michael got a stroller for him, and he said it's a great chick magnet. The girls come over, and they have their pugs, and they all have a pug family.
I love that.
But it's really endearing to have a dog. I mean, you have somebody else to take care of. The issue with me is I can't do loss. I mean, after my mom died, I talked to you about it. I said, you know, dogs only live 15, 16 years if we can be blessed with that.
Yeah.
And also my life is not as easy to have a dog anymore. I mean, I can't bring the dog to the office, and I'm not going to bring him to Puerto Vallarta, and, you know, I'm just traveling a lot, and I don't want the dog to be alone. So for me, it's not a good time in my life. I mean, Michael wants a big dog. Michael, my boyfriend Michael, I'm like, we're not getting a big dog. So anyway, it's I know what you're feeling. It's tough. So my condolences are.
Thank you so much, and thank you. So many people have also reached out and, you know, sent love, and other people are going through it too. I think Kyle Richards from Beverly Hills, one of her longtime dogs, I think passed away the same day as Frankie. So it's just it's really sad, and you know, so make sure you squeeze those fur babies extra tight, and yeah, it's just they don't prepare you for this stuff, is what I want to say. Because I knew that I never wanted my dad to have to deal with it, because he dropped hints that he didn't think he could, And so I immediately jumped into rescue mode. And when my mom called, and I drove back 2 hours and like helped him say goodbye and got him in the car and took him to the hospital where they held him until we were able to come pick him up. And you go into like doing these things, but it's these tiny little moments like signing paperwork after they come and get him, or they handing his bed back, and it's like it really does rock
really
you.
Brutal.
So
really
it is. And so just be kind to yourself if you have to deal with that, and know that you're not crazy or weird for being stuck with it. I think that's normal. And so Frankie, love you, buddy. And I'm gonna whip it up for you, and we're gonna move on to some other exciting stuff, which is Vicki met with an architect recently, I believe. Can you tell me something about that, Vicki?
Yeah, so those of you that have listened and heard me forever and ever, Michael has fallen in love with Puerto Vallarta. In fact, I came home Sunday night and he's still there.
Yeah.
And we met I'm like, okay, you're not going to squat like Steve Lodge, right? He's like, no, I'm coming home in a couple days.
Also, how can we be surprised? You've literally been making people love Puerto Vallarta for 20 years.
I know. And that was one of my 18 things. If you don't have a passport, you're not flexible on your schedule, and you don't love Puerto Vallarta. Like, we can go through a whole list. I really don't think it's going to work. He's like, we have a list already, and we've been seeing each other 1 hour. I just met you. I'm like, I don't care. I don't want date 2 if you're not going to, be adaptable. So anyway, so we found a great location. We're not going to reveal the name and everything yet. If you guys have any names that you think of for some drinks, I went into ChatGPT, and it was like the Coda Cooler and the tequila tits, or like, I just want to create some really great fun drink names. Also, we're going to have like bar food, but it's going to be elevated bar food, like goat cheese and fig flatbreads and tomato, margarita ones. And we're going to have a churro bar, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a sports bar, fun bar. I'm so excited about it.
And I think it's going to be like, it's going to be fun and new, but I think you're going to have just enough nods of nostalgia and things that people recognize, that it will feel like something that's familiar.
It's going to be incredible. Yeah. So so I called my brother Billy, and everybody loves Billy. I said, Billy, so are you in? He goes, I'm in. When do I need to get my flight? And when do I need to come? And
Billy's bags are packed. He's ready to go.
He's ready to go because he wants to retire there too. So, it's going to be a family affair. Michael's going to come in from Spain, and Christian's going to come, and we're going to have a big grand opening with a red carpet. We're going to have fake paparazzi out there taking pictures. So it'll be fun. We'll let you guys all know. We figure about 3-4 months on the renovation, and then we'll be ready to go in the high season.
I literally cannot wait to see it. Like, I cannot wait to see it. And I don't know, Vicki, something just feels right about it.
I know.
And at the end of the day too, the last thing you need to, like, yes, you're on a timeline, and yes, you want to make money, but the moment you start stressing yourself, and that's when you got to always be mindful to try and have some fun with it.
And that's what Mike and we're having a legal agreement between us. And I said, we're going to have to be at the bar a lot. I said, and I'm not a jealous person, and neither is he. But I said, if you decide to dump my ass, or I decide to dump his ass, what happens to the bar? So we're both putting in the equal amount of money and stuff. He's like, I already thought of it. We got a lawyer lined up. It's a prenup, postnup, nup. We will be getting married, so I just want to get married in Puerto Vallarta, very small, just him and I. I don't need hoopla. But I don't want to get into something with a boyfriend. You're either in or you're not. I've made that mistakes before, and I don't want to ever make a mistake again.
Is it legally harder to navigate if you're not married when you're doing like agreements like that? Business agreements?
Because business partners don't have to be married. We're going to be business partners. We'll have another investor coming in, so we're each going to be a third. I'm going to be 34%. They're going to be 32%.
Cool.
I'm going to have more.
Wait, can you say what is the square footage of the place you landed on?
What was that?
What's the square footage of the place you landed on?
It's huge. It's big. I don't know, but it's big. It's double-decker.
Well, I want to see it because I'm going to have some. I want a mock-up of Vicki on the ropes course hanging from the ceiling where she's screaming out, Shannon on her finger.
I'll send you videos after we're off. But if you guys have any ideas of food, ChatGPT was super friendly, and they gave us some great ideas. And And
events? You can do events, Vicki?
Yep, we're going to do events. Some of my friends are coming down, and Jeff Lewis, I'm going to be on tomorrow. We're going to reveal that tomorrow on his podcast or his radio show. Shannon and I are going to be on together.
Yay!
And Jeff said he'd come down and support us. So, we'll have a trickling of different housewife bitches coming in and out.
Totally. The ones we like, yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Literally, you know what is so funny, Vicki? There's a guy, when I lived in Seattle for like a year and a half, like it's just everyone associates Puerto Vallarta with Vicki. And then if anybody has ever remotely shared a word with me and Vicki comes to mind, then they think they be like, hey. Like this guy, he and I hooked up one time in Seattle 3 years ago, maybe 4. Haven't talked since. He's in Puerto Vallarta and saw that you were there over the weekend. Guess who texted me? Hey, are you in Puerto Vallarta? Am I posting that I'm in Puerto Vallarta? No. Why are you asking?
Maybe because I'm there, you're there.
I know, but also, even if I was there with you, I don't even know him like that. What does he think I'm going to do? Have you
he'd like to get a little sniggy on the side. That's so funny.
Come on, But it's, again, everyone associates you with Puerto Vallarta, so I think it's just a fun next step, and you're going to meet so many people there when you're there, and it's going to be great.
What? I'm one with God there. I know this sounds weird, but Puerto Vallarta is one of the 7 vortexes, so you have a draw. Even my friends came this past weekend. I've known Tina for 30 years. She's like, I had no idea I was going to like it here so much. Not that I'm selling on Puerto Vallarta, but they always go to Cabo, and a lot of California people always go to Cabo. I personally don't like Cabo. It's way too Gucci. I like my street tacos. I like my margaritas in a red Solo cup. We're going to do orange Solo cups.
Love it.
Yeah. So I like the down home. We're not here to impress anybody. We're here to be relaxed and have the sunsets and the sunsets and the whales and the food and the hamburgers.
No stress.
I've had stress my whole entire life, and I said to Michael, I am not doing this with you if it's going to bring us stress. And he said, I promise you, we're going to have fun. We're going to bring in our friends. We're going to host them. And we're just going to create a place where we feel it's an extension of our home. And we're both on the same page with that, which is really nice. So
I love that.
I know. So we only had one fight, and it was last night recently, and it was because I'm going to LA tonight with Shannon, and then on Jeff Lewis's show, and he goes, oh, you're throwing a bomb on me that you're going to whoop it up in LA. I'm like, I never said I was whooping it up in LA. I'm not going to get there till 10 p.m. I work in LA.
You don't have time to whoop it up.
Cats away, the mice will play. This mouse is not playing anymore. I've already played. I'm done. So it was just funny.
He should know your play is work. That is your play.
I overreacted. I'm sorry. I'm like, don't ever think I'm going to be unfaithful. Like, I don't do that.
Do you think he got sensitive because he's down there working on the bar stuff and he thought?
Yeah, he just doesn't. He doesn't. First of all, he's very protective. He doesn't want me. You know how much I don't like driving to LA.
Yeah.
It is something that is scary to me. I can't do the carpool lane. So I'm going to be doing it by myself, and I can do it. I have MapQuest.
I thought you had somebody was picking you up. You're driving.
No, I'm driving.
Oh.
Because I got to come right back to go to work.
How much is an Uber to LA?
I don't know.
Probably expensive.
Well, I just don't know.
It's also I don't want to ride in someone's car for an hour, really, I
don't mind that because then I work the whole time. I forgot my computer in Puerto Vallarta. So
can you read on your computer in a car? I would throw up. I'd get so nauseous.
I can work. I'm so excited to be quiet and nobody talk to me.
You can read
that brings up something that I want to talk to you about. So I fly a lot. Once a week I'm on a plane. And I think when you're on a plane, you shut your blinds and you shut your mouth. I don't want you talking to your next door neighbor. I'm a window person, so I can control the blind. And I never go potty, so it doesn't matter. I'm never going to ask the 2 people to leave to go to the bathroom. For a 2.5-hour flight, I got this.
Yeah.
The person in the middle next to me went to the bathroom 3 times. I'm like, do you have a bladder infection? What's going on here? So then the one on the end had to get up and down. And then they started talking. I'm like, okay, can everybody just be quiet? And then the people behind me were talking. And they didn't know each other. I'm like, why do people talk to strangers that they're sitting next to on the plane? And why do they not shut their blinds? I want to work. I can't work when the light is coming in. So I started saying something, and Mike happened to be on the other aisle, another flight, and he's like, you are not the plane patrol. I go, well, you need to be quiet. Everybody just needs to put their blinds down, take a nap, do whatever you want to do, watch a movie, just shut the F up.
Do you put headphones in?
No, I just work.
No. See, I can't work without like music though. Like not word music. Like I listen to like jazz, like no lyrics.
Lydia in my other office, she has to have music on. I'm like, how can you concentrate? I've been wanting to sing with the music guy. So no.
Have you always been the anti-plane window shield shade?
100%. And actually, Tamara charges the same thing. We used to get on and say, everybody shut their blinds. Nobody talk.
Even so, if you're like flying internationally somewhere beautiful, you don't even raise it up to see the water for a second.
No, I don't need to see anything. We're going over water, we're going over land, doesn't really matter. Just get me there safe.
Vicky said we don't even need windows on the damn plane.
This one guy in front of me was taking pictures the whole time out the plane. I'm like, it's the same view. It's the same view. It's clouds and ground. There's nothing new going to pop up.
Oh my God, that's so true. It's so true. And my thing is, like, every time I ever take like a beautiful, like it is nice when you look out the window and see a beautiful sunset or something, but I take the picture. What do I do with it? Nothing. Like I don't. It's not like I post it or anything.
No.
Oh Lord. I was speaking of things that get on your nerves. I want to ask you this too. God, if I need to be careful about how I say this in case some of the people are listening. In a group situation, maybe a group trip, a group maybe a bachelorette. How do you feel about the requirement of everyone like having, because they have these apps now, so it's like if everybody, like there's a bill for $500 and then you put everybody in, it tells them what they owe. But the thing is, how do you feel about them wanting to incorporate apps like that for meals when there could be people that are not, like, for example, if there's a pregnant person that's not drinking, but everyone else at a dinner on a bachelorette party is going to have a minimum of 2 to 3 cocktails.
Then you got to ask for a separate check. And I am so opinionated on this. So my sister at one time, she was like, okay, but I didn't drink, you did, or I had a cheeseburger, you had a steak, so I only owe $20. I'm like, you're nitpicking. This is $5 difference. Like, it's not a big deal. I think you shouldn't go out to dinner if you can't just split it in. I'm not one to give like 5 credit cards to the waiter. I think that's rude. I think one person put their credit card in and then collect the cash or Venmo me. Or I just think it's like, they don't want to do that. They don't want to split the bill and then add 20% or add 15% or add 50%. It's exhausting. So if you don't want to drink and you want to order a salad and everybody else orders steak, ask for a separate check for you only, and then everybody else divided by 4.
See, that's how I think that's completely fair. And I think, okay, if we're all at we're at a nice restaurant, we're all here to have a good time and celebrate. The thing is we're going to be in ballpark range of each other. If there's a pregnant person or maybe somebody that's just a sober person that doesn't want to drink, there's zero reason why they should feel pressured to have to even say, do I need to, can I split mine? Like, that shouldn't even be a conversation. And I am a part of something right now where seemingly they just expect everybody to split and figure it out later. And it's like, no. I will, because I'm not going to go to dinner and not drink. I'm going to be the first one to have the drink. Right. But I can't sit there and watch someone else put their card down when they had a $20 salad and a $5 appetizer, and we all had 4 $20 cocktails and a steak.
And then you also don't want to be the person who hand them 5. So I have a women's group. We go out every month, 5 women. And these are all 60 and 70-year-old women. They will not spend 1 penny more than what they ordered on their dinner. I'm like, you guys, this is embarrassing. We're not doing this. I'm going to put my credit card down. You guys give me what you think is right. And they're literally with their calculator out. I'm like, by the way, you forgot tax and tip. So
if we're going to get that serious about it, then
they're all very wealthy. It's not. To them, it's the point. I don't want to pay for something that I didn't have. To me, it's the experience. Like,
exactly.
We go out for dinner once a month. We have to be prepared. There's going to be a conflict with the bill. It's exhausting.
Well, wait. Oh my God, this just brought up something else. Speaking of restaurant bills, holy shit! Did you see the Sonja Morgan thing that came out?
You texted it to me. I guess she thought she was famous and she didn't want to pay her $1,000 bill.
Well, so apparently they say that they had copped her meals before, but she says that she had like a DMs of them saying like, come in, come in, come in. I wanted to ask you, like, how does that work for, like, how does that work for you? Do you feel like you just clearly set those boundaries?
I always want to pay my way. I never
Yeah.
want to be that girl that's like, oh, she's coming in taking advantage of us. And now I'll post about it and hopefully they'll get more business from it. But I don't want to be that girl who's entitled. Like, if you can't afford to go out for dinner, then don't go out for dinner. Just go for a drink only, or go for a Diet Coke or whatever you drink.
Well, allegedly, she called the restaurant owner on the phone.
I would never expect to get a free dinner. Everybody's in times right now where it's tough, and owning a restaurant is not. It's not going to be easy for me, but it's not easy. So you just pay, and if they did say they'll comp your dinner, then they should comp it, and then she does a 50% tip.
Well, I do think she was wrong because I knew that they had spoken out. The owner banned her from the restaurant.
Well, he doesn't want that conflict in his restaurant. It goes around viral, and that's not good. That's not good juju.
Yeah.
I would never expect somebody to comp my dinner. If they decide to do it, then I'm over tipping. I'm 50% of whatever the bill is, because I would never expect it. And the wait staff usually does over and beyond. I'm a big tipper because I think it's karma, right? You treat people well, it will come back to you.
I agree. Yeah, and also the same thing. At the end of the day, empathy is really easy to have, people, and like we all know that serving is not an easy job. And
I've been a server. It's not easy, but
hell no, it ain't easy.
The job I chose to do during college to pay my way through things, and we all need servers. You can't go to a restaurant and sit there and expect the food just to come to you. You have to be served if it's a sit-down restaurant.
And it's a skill set. Like you have to be on your thing. You have to it's managing multiple tasks at the same time, and then on your feet, the physical part of it, like God help. Something I really wanted to ask you also, because I'm kind of talking to a guy who lives in Chicago. He's a flight attendant based in Chicago, but he's not a Housewives person at all. So like this isn't his world, right?
Okay.
But he heard the rumblings of Real Housewives of Chicago, and he asked me a question, and I was like, oh my God, I have the perfect person to ask.
Yeah.
He was like, if they do a Housewives of Chicago, he's like, well, what would they hold in their little opening? And I said, stand by, because I have the OG who's also from Chicago, so I'm going to ask her. He was like, would it be hot dog?
A pizza or a hot dog.
Okay, pizza or a hot dog.
Yep.
What is the dipped beef or something like that?
Oh, cheesy beef wet.
And from
Portillo's.
Portillo's cheesy beef wet is what they're going to hold in the opening.
I love it.
Of Chicago.
That's so funny.
Oh my God, I just saw somebody walking in the window behind you. It scared the shit out of me. Sorry.
Well, I'm on the best part about my office. I'm on the ground floor.
Yeah.
It's so sometimes I get people like behind me know it's me and they're jumping up and down. I'm like, okay, put the blind down, Olivia. Put the blind down.
Wait, I've meant to ask you about this for the longest time, because every time if I ever have to order something to your office, or if I can't remember the zip code for like if I'm ordering something for the pod, I always Google Kodo Insurance or whatever to get you like your address and stuff. And then I'm like, what was that like when you started getting? Did people show up at your office?
Yeah. So we have a dinger on our door. We also have security right outside, and so he just happens to have a stand there directing people. There's only 2 offices on the first floor, and it's a 29-story building, glass building. It's pretty incredible. But he'll say, "Are you here to see Kodo Insurance?" Or we'll tell him we got 4 clients today or 3, but if the people want to come in and harass us, we can electronically lock the door, and then when the client's coming in, we unlock it.
What about when you back in the day when the show started picking up and stuff? Because you also were involved in the rise of social. So people couldn't necessarily tweet you, but they could show up.
That was another building, but this building I got because of the security is really good. But I worked till 2:00 in the morning last night.
Yeah.
There's nights where Michael freaks out because I'm here at the office by myself. I'm like, listen, I got cameras everywhere. If somebody wants to freaking kill me, they're going to get caught by camera. But there is no security, but there's cameras in the everywhere around, and then all I have to do is call security remotely, and they'll walk me to my car. So nobody get their idea that they're going to come and kill me in the middle of the night.
Hell no. What about calling? Do people, the fans, have they ever call you and stuff?
Linda, everything goes through Linda. She's not letting anybody through.
Poor Linda.
She's lived for me almost 20 years, and she's like, "What do you want? Do you want insurance? Do you want to talk to who do you want? Why do you want to talk to Vicki?" Like
she said, "Love tank, click." Okay, that's not what we're here to talk about.
She's my warrior. She is. Nobody's getting to me unless they go through her, Olivia, Stephanie, Michael.
I think we need a Linda drink on the menu in Mexico. We got to ask her what her favorite. Do you know what her favorite cocktail is?
She loves gin martinis.
Okay, boom. We'll have the Linda and do a gin martini.
And we're going to have premier bottle service, so it's going to be really good.
Yes, I love it. Oh, you know who also, Cynthia Bailey, I just saw that she is working with, I don't know if she released a tequila company or released her own tequila or if she's like partnered with someone. But she said she was going to send me some. So I'm like, I need to get some to Vicki and well, let's get some, maybe we can have some of that party down there with us. I love it. All right, everybody. Well, again, we really appreciate your patience and hanging with us this week. And
sorry about your loss, Christian.
Thank you. I love you so much. And that's what this is what this podcast is about. When Vicki and I started this, it was about, getting to know each other and just talking about life and really about like what friendship means. And I really have had so many people step up. I mean, I had one of my friends that was supposed to be at work Monday morning at 8:00 and really, really tried hard for me to accept that he wanted to ride 4 hours with me round trip to go help my parents and it's just times like, this, as horrible as they are, it also, it's a blessing to see that you have people. So I'm going to send y'all into the week with a quote, and I found a special one this week. It says, "Dogs are not our whole life, but they absolutely make our whole lives whole. And sometimes they are the truest friend that we will ever know." And that's for Roger Karras. So as always, hug your fur babies. Vicki, tell Michael to give Walter some love from all of us. And everybody, y'all have a good and blessed week. We'll see you next week.
Listen to me tomorrow on Jeff Lewis's.
Yes, and Shannon. We get to hear about that in the Love Hotel.
I haven't talked to Shannon in a long time, so she just called. When are you leaving now? I'm like, Shannon, it's 1:00 in the afternoon. I have to work. You're halfway through your work day. I love it. All right. Well, bye everybody. We'll see you next week. Besos. Bye.
Okay, that was so much fun.
That was such a fun episode.
Everyone enjoyed it.
Yes, be sure to rate, review, and subscribe, and we'll be back again next week, right?
Just like corn. We'll see you next week.
See you soon.
I knew it. Another Herdat Media production.